Audio Frontier. This is Football Daft with Stephen Purden,
midfield dynamo and average actor,
Chris Toll,
target man, suspicious character,
and
Hey, the top end of Stevenson,
Welcome to Football Daft, the daftest Scottish football podcast around. My name's Stephen Purden and let's welcome the team. First, a man who is now officially the 454th best wrestler in the world. It's Grado, mate. That's an achievement, mate.
No, it's not really. It's shite because I was 293 last year. See, to be honest with you, the best position I've ever got was 500th because it was the top 500 wrestlers. They call it the PWI 500. I think it was 2015 or 16, and I came like that. And honestly, I buzzed off that. But 454's shite. You know what I mean? It's no.
I thought you said last year you were 200 and something.
I was.
But how can 500 be better than 200 and something?
It was the last in the list.
Mate, do you know what? Congratulations, you're 454th, right?
Thank you.
Now, let's welcome a man who has been accused of coming down with a bout of the Hungarian flu. Only briefly appeared on last week's show. He's claiming to still have the Hungarian flu this week a wee bit. We fake go for an alright in time for his introduction. It's Chris Toll.
Alright, Trouts, what's happening?
Sorry.
Last week I had a pharynx virus.
Hey!
There we go, I'll get out of the way straight away. No, but I'm still not feeling great, man, but I'm much better than I was.
Got a full house this week, right? So let's talk about the old football. What's happening? European draws for the Europa League been made, and all four Scottish clubs will be away from home if they reach the third round, which is make the draw in.
Good man.
I don't see the red imps thing. That's funny, eh? You just getting red imps, man. Imagine they pick you up, but what are they? Oh, at least we got a second chance at them.
A good point, mate. It's a good point.
Aye.
Are you away? Are you in Gibraltar?
We're away, mate. Aye.
Mate, see, that pitch is brutal, right? But see, when you watch the game at that stadium, man, it's like watching a fucking movie. They've got a rock of Gibraltar in the background and all that, and fucking it looks amazing. But the pitch looks as if they've made it out of all boulders.
Right, Motherwell will play the winners of KF Lackey or Hapwell Beershava if they beat Coleraine. Aberdeen are going to play Sporting Lisbon if they get past Viking. What about that? Sporting Lisbon.
Viking are a decent side, by the way.
I think we'll get past them.
We'll see. But
And
that's a good draw, though. If they do get by them, that's a big tie for Aberdeen. The only thing is, man, they're not going to be able to sell it to fans because they're not going to be able to play it. It's going to be played behind closed doors, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So it's going to be a huge European night for Aberdeen. There's not going to be any fans there.
No, I thought about that.
And Rangers, obviously, if we beat the Imps, which you don't know, we could end up fucking up. Banana skin, slip up. But Rangers will then face Progress or Willem. Progress again.
It's going to be Willem, but you want the rubber match, don't you? You want the rubber match with Progress.
Aye,
I wouldn't mind playing anything, man.
This reminds me, like, now we're getting Progress all the time. It reminds me, when I was a wee boy, it just felt like Scotland played Lithuania and Latvia every week. Every game.
See, me and John and Stephen are a wee bit older than you, so it was San Marino for us in Estonia.
Aye, Estonia, I remember that. We turned up and they kicked off and everything.
Aye, I remember, fuck's sake.
Yeah, talking about San Marino, man, Celtic could be up against that mob for San Marino, couldn't they? Or the other mob for Latvia, Riga for Latvia, or Trefiori for San Marino.
I would probably say it's going to be Riga, and a Latvian team should turn over a San Marino team. But Scott, like I say, on Celtic, Daft. I know Riga because Scott or Riga tossed Aberdeen out one year, remember? And I thought they were a decent side, but man, that was about fucking 30 years ago or something.
Right, Dunfermline have welcomed German investors, which will allow Dunfermline to develop a youth academy and new training facilities, says Chairman Ross MacArthur. It's not bad for Dunfermline, they'll bars it.
They've already got a German boy, a player over. I seen yesterday they announced they're signing a German boy. He used to play for St. Pauli, scored the winner against Bayern Munich for St. Pauli. And he's signed for Dunfermline, so that'll be that should bear fruit for them, I would think, to be honest with you. That's a good thing, good deal.
definitely. And you happy what about big Shane Duffy? Happy with that?
Aye, like I say, I'm happy enough now that we're not relying on him to get us into the Champions League. I think he'll do well and domestically and get a wee bit of European experience in the Europa League, and then hopefully if he signs a permanent deal, then he'll be ready to make a step up to the Champions League. But I don't know what it signals for Celtic that we've brought in a new centre half. I think there's a lot of noise about Ayer wanting away. My cousin texted me last week saying that his mates lives down in Newcastle or something. There's a lot of talk about him going down to Newcastle. So I don't know. We'll see what it becomes of it all. But Shane Duffy, I'm happy enough with that.
Is your cousin the one that still saw the texts about folk crashing motors and players fighting? Is that all comfort? Is this all come for your cousin, mate?
My cousin Stephen Gerrard's fucking secretary.
my father-in-law was coming up the other day. He came up, man. He's like, we're talking about Rangers and all that, and he's like, that wee Bampot, what about him? I was like, who? And he's like, he's like McCoy Street. He goes, Morales. I was like, what about him? He's like, crashing into the motors and all that. Fucking. I'm like, Stuart, I think it's just made up, mate. It was on the CCTV. There's coverage here. There's coverage. I'm like, where have you seen the coverage? Why, Evans? You'll see it. It's coming. It's coming out.
I was on the text to Grado when I read that one. I was like, Grado, get on the airfield. Is this for real? He's like, no, mate.
Obviously, this weekend, man, again, it makes me feel a wee bit depressed. International weekend. I hate it. You've got to put the cards on the table. Nothing against Scotland, nothing against all the international games. I just hate it. It makes me have nothing to look forward to the weekend. What do you think?
I'm exactly the same. I pine for it. I pine for the football at the weekend. The Scottish
football. On, Scotland are playing. Come on, boys. Get behind the boys. Come on.
Do you know what? It's not that I don't support Scotland. I mean, a day and I watch it probably.
Aye.
But
I'm not going to watch the Scotland game. I'm going to go and watch a Sunderland reserves match. Fucking McBurney. What about that? Pulling out of the squad and going to fucking play for Sunderland.
Aye, but apparently he cut his fit, and he cut his fit before they were meant to go. So they were like, right, he's your fit cut, right? Don't bother then. And then I think it maybe a couple of plasters on it, and a couple of years later it was brand new, and they were like, it's too late. So that he turned it for Sunderland.
Fucking lot of shite.
Well, Scotland, they're going to get set to play Czech Republic and Israel in the Nations League for a potential backdoor into the 2022 World Cup. And here is how it will work.
Hold on, wait, what? Is it the World Cup? I thought it was a backdoor into the European Championships.
Right, this is where the confusion is. Right, so we're still to play the game against Israel for
explain it, John. John, let Grado explain it.
Aye, so we need to play the Czech Republic, right, in the Nations League, and then what happens is the winner for that faces Israel. Then that's a kind of backdoor to the 2022 World Cup, and if they do that, then they'll get in. I think, is that not it, John?
Hey, mate, good effort.
It was a decent enough effort.
You know more than me, mate, on this, because for me, this is like the fucking captain factor, trying to figure this shit out.
It is. Do you want me to bore you and explain how it works, right?
Go on, you do it, go.
Right, basically 3 of Europe's 13 entrants into the next World Cup in Qatar will come via playoffs. There's also going to be the normal qualification process, which starts next year, where there'll be 10 groups with winners qualifying for the finals. The 10 runners-up will then be joined by the 2 best Nations League group winners that failed to finish in the top 2 of their qualifying group. Those 12 teams will be drawn into 3 different playoff paths. There will then be 2 semi-finals and a final in each path, with the 3 winners making the World Cup. So we can still, it's like the Euros. This is just a back door. So we're still going to go through qualification, but this is just a potential back door into it. It basically means if Scotland do what we normally do and finish 3rd or 4th in the qualifying group, but manage to get to the top of the Nations League. So if we get to the top between Israel and Czech Republic and get to the top, then there's a chance we can seek into the playoffs. Given most of the teams above us will be likely to secure their place in the traditional way. Any questions about that?
I've got one.
Yeah.
Can you repeat that?
I don't even know what I just said.
Honestly, God, it's like the fucking Da Vinci Code.
Aye,
Figure it out, it's brutal. Like, why do you know what they should just do? Have a World Cup with every country in it. Just fucking, just a straight knockout tournament right to the final.
Aye, no, mate, that's what, as in, like, every country, if you want to get involved, then they do the fucking draw, and then they just start playing in November. And then by the time
exactly. And then the World Cup finals at the end of the season.
Aye, and it doesn't matter if Germany are drawn out against Brazil in the first game. These are playing each other and whoever wins. Who gives a fuck?
That's
in the final, it comes down to fucking the final, and it's like fucking, I don't know, like fucking
Azerbaijan versus the Faroe Islands.
Aye, boys, we've got a major issue. However, there are 195 countries in the world, so we're going to have to either gain a country or lose a country to make it even.
Swing England it.
There we go.
What's 195 divided by 2?
97 games, 97.
You can still, but you could still date in continents, couldn't they? Right?
No, but don't date in continents, because imagine like Zambia versus fucking France.
Papua New Guinea fucking destroying Scotland 4-0, man.
Costa Rica all over again.
We just need to
so on the show today, we welcome a current Morton player who's been around Scottish football at the likes of St Mirren, Motherwell, St Johnstone and Hearts. It's John Sutton. Ooh. And it's Chris's turn on the Legends Lottery, and hopefully he does better than last week when Grado brought his cousin on, who was once a mascot, and, wait for it, he left us a voice note. That was amazing, that, man. On the big question, we are talking ball boy stories, and it's a 4-week rollover on the Pro Set playoff, meaning there are 4 crates of beer to be won. But first, with gossip that would make eyes if he's still game jealous, it's Chris Toll and his rumour mill.
Right, so first on the list this week we've got Dundee United. They've made a move to bring the Slovakian international striker Pavel Safrenko back to for a second loan spell from Stanford, Georgia. That's a made up name, man. And is that one of John's fucking typos? It's Stenhouse Muir he's coming to.
Stenhouse Muir.
Hibs are close to signing 24-year-old goalkeeper Dylan Barnes on loan for Queen's Park Rangers. Right. His head coach Jack Ross's only youngster Kevin Dabrowski on the books to act as backup for Israel international Ophir Marciano. Charlie Adam, former guest of the show, looks like he could end up heading back to Dundee, but only if it makes business sense for the Dark Blues. Right. That's obviously his boyhood team where he started off as well. Yeah. Southampton are set to step up their bid to sign Olivier Ncham after missing out on Weston McKennie. The American midfielder joins Juventus from Schalke instead, so they have now turned their attention to Ncham. However, I think now that move's dead in the water. The Southampton Ncham deal is looking as if it could be dead in the water. So,
would you like to keep him, mate?
I don't know. I don't think he works well with McGregor and Brown.
Right. I mean, there's loads of Celtic fans on my Facebook told giving it Ncham can go. There was a lot of talk on my Facebook this week.
You know, like Grado, I think everybody's that fucking perplexed now. It wouldn't bother anybody if anybody left apart from Edward.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That maybe sounds a wee bit callous, but honestly, it's as if they're fucking no ball on their arse. Right, Portuguese giants Porto have joined the race to sign Alfredo Morelos after he impressed against them in the Europa League last season. That's an old Rangers tactic, innit? Remember they used to just defend, they played well against them, they just signed them. What the fuck?
I remember when Jelavic played well against Celtic and they signed him.
That's right. Fucking Jelavic, he was a player, wasn't he? Right. Daryl Horgan, who was in my fantasy team, he's moved to fucking Wickham. Right, so I'm going to have to
transfer for that.
I'm going to have to get my new. I'm looking at Lewis Ferguson to replace him.
I'm playing my wild card this week. I'm having a shit.
Yeah. Where are you sitting in the fantasy, boys? Where are you sitting?
Lads, I'm so bad.
I'm terrible. I'm absolutely.
Get your position. We've not done that yet, have we?
Football Daft League. I am 1,069.
What are you told?
708.
Damn.
Are you grads?
1,270.
I'm beating Grado.
I'm 244.
Oh,
fucking hell, that's good, man.
I'm on 90. No, what am I on? Hold on, I'll tell you how many points I've got. I'm sitting on 288 points.
Well, I have to say a big shout out to the top of the leaderboard, who's sitting in 382 points. We are all William Gross, Lachlan Heine on the Football Daft League on Fantasy Football Scotland app.
Well done, man. Well done. By the way, do you know what? I've actually been keeping up with it too. See, usually with the fantasy football, I fall away after a couple of weeks and then that's me.
Mate, I love it. Me and my mates do the English one every year, man, and I'm doing the same with the Scottish one. It's part of my ritual. I sit and spend a wee half an hour at night going, right, this is what I'm doing. I take it fucking serious, man. It's not about me now, it's about crystals in my mouth. Sorry, boys.
Don't worry about that. We've got this name's popping up every single week. One week he's going to Bayern Munich, the next week he's going to Celtic. Apparently this week he's going to Bologna, and we're talking about Aaron Hickey for Hearts. So I don't know what the fuck's going on with this boy. Bologna are looking to sign him, but they've already got Mitchell Dykes at left back, right? So if they're going to be bringing him in as a development player, is he at the age now where he wants to play first team football more often? Do Bologna then loan him back out, maybe to another club to get some experience? I don't know, but whatever happens, Celtic are getting 30% of the sell-on fee. So hopefully it's fucking Bayern Munich and they offer about 10 million. Know what I mean?
Here's hoping not.
And the very last, but by no means least, we were talking about Charlie Adam earlier on, maybe going back to Dundee. Another ex-Rangers player could potentially be going back to where his career started. Ali McCoist is in talks with St Johnstone for the managerial position.
Right.
Although
Callum Davidson though just took care of that.
Aye, but Callum Davidson's decided that he's wanting to move on because I don't know exactly the reasons behind that, but McCoist is definitely might be a director of football gig, but he's in talks with St Johnstone.
I thought he'd have been holding out for the Kilnockie job.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Been involved in a road traffic accident? Call them now on 01698 767 172.
Aye, so like after obviously thinking back to last week, man, I just hope international break now. I hope all the motors at Ibrox will be getting fixed after, because obviously there's rumours Morelos might be going to Porto, so the motors might be safe. You know what I mean?
Oh, the claims are in. The claims are in.
Have they?
Aye, that's getting dealt with. I think who is it? Scott Arfield is going about right now in a 70-plate Kia. So
right.
That's not too bad. He's
20 plate.
Wait a minute. Do you know what, Grado? Well, see that's obviously he's got a courtesy car.
Aye, but
that's not a like for like replacement.
You're right, which is why he should have went to G4 Claims, because G4 Claims sponsor this show, and we think they're brilliant, and we believe that if the Rangers players did use G4 Claims, they would be sorted. They'd be back on the road. Currently, they're getting the bus, they're getting the subway, they're cycling, etc., etc.
I heard that Connor Goldson's walking it to work.
Goldson's motor's all right, mate. He never skidded, but Goldson was brand new, mate. He was.
Oh, did you not hear about the second incident? Oh, right, never mind. Right.
The other incident, it's not. I've not been told about that. What happened?
Listen, the least said the better.
Right, okay, doc. Right, well.
I heard Shane Duffy when he signed came up and rammed his motorway into Goldson's motor right away, man. I'm here.
Well,
that marker.
Right, he's a laughing, but if you've been in a road traffic accident and you're not at fault, G4 Claims can make it easy for you. They provide you with complete accident management support that you require. They'll recover their costs from Shane Duffy, etc., Alfredo Morelos, the at-fault party, and they'll sort you out with a vehicle that's like for like. So if you are, by the way, shout out to the people who get their new 70-plate cars that came out on the 1st of September. It was good to see everybody smiling with their new happy cars. They're also going to organise your vehicle to be repaired at one of their approved body shops and return to yourself. Should your vehicle be deemed a write-off, they're going to recover the pre-accident value for your car, and they're going to write you a big fat cheque. And best of all, it won't cost you a penny, as they charge the at-fault insurance direct. Hey, G4 claims don't call, they don't buy data, and once they process your claim, your insurance will remain unscathed. And the best thing is Nicole and the team over there won't take your case on if they don't think they can help. So, if you've been in a road traffic accident or you know someone that has, get on to G4 Claims on 01698 767 172. That's 01698 767 172. Get them at notfaultclaim.com or find them on social media at G4 Claims Limited. G4 Claims. Not at fault claims.
Maybe.
The Legends Lottery on Football Daft.
Right, lads, I'm really just no sure how we're going to top last week's, but I mean, last week was just getting a voice note to Grado's cousin, who was once a mascot for a Kilmarnock game. For Kilmarnock. So I don't know how we're going to top it.
I mean, we've never had a mascot on before. It was great to get him on for all the 10 seconds on a voice note. But it was good to hear.
Do you know what? I know he's busy, but he was willing to give us 3 minutes.
He was willing to give us 3 minutes of your time. And one day, maybe when it comes back, my turn to get Legends Lottery, I might get Gary Boy to come on and talk about that day he met Gary Holt, Richard Goff.
I mean, it's main guest material, I would say.
Right, okay. Well, I don't know if he's got the time.
It's not your cousin.
Aye.
Get him on, man.
Aye, no,
what a story. That's better than my Big Graph story.
Do you know what?
Ali Mitchell signed his autograph book. He met Bobby Williamson, and man, honestly,
I'm sure at the moment he's probably touring. He's got a lot of places to go to tell his stories. So
he's autograph, mate. He is. He is.
Aye, because he'll be able to hold it in venues again because it's been relaxed now.
Aye, sweet.
Does the pub circuit?
Aye. I think he held a night at Rugby Park, man. Not that long ago.
I heard that got a bigger crowd than a fucking Kilmarnock game.
But as I say, it will be hard to top last week's. But here goes, as once again we delve into the archives of Scottish football and find a former hero in the
hold on, Stephen. Hold on, Stephen. You're jumping ahead here because we've got the current. Listen, we had to put it out there and score Gary Grado's cousin because
I've got a feeling I'm not going to be happy about this.
Well, the current scores are you're on 19.3, Stephen, top of the leaderboard, absolutely coasting it. Chris is on 13.9. We'll get to him in a minute. And
I'll change bottom.
Yeah, Graham's bottom was 7.8, and you would think he would remain bottom with, the fact that he couldn't be arsed last week and decided at a whim just to call his cousin, who was a mascot at Kilmarnock in 1997 and didn't even meet any one of the players, and got a voice note from him, and he could only give us 3 minutes. You would think Grado's going to be staying rooted to the bottom. But, it is the Legends Lottery. We have to be fair. We have to put it out there to score the guest out of 5. Now, I don't know what's went on, but the scores are in for Gary, Grado's cousin, on the Legends Lottery. And he scored 4.8. The most successful guest we've ever had on the Legends Lottery via a voice note for 10 seconds because he couldn't give us 3 minutes. 4.8.
Thank you to every person that voted, man. I seen a couple of zeros. He's well remembered. But the 5s, thank you so much. Thank you to everybody that voted. I thank you so much. Does that mean I'm in second place now?
I'm just doing the calculations here. Grado, you're not on second place yet, but you're on 11.6. So.
Right. Well, I mean, Chris Toll's...
12.6. Sorry, I've not carried the one. 12.6.
12.6. You're no far behind Toll now, mate.
But I mean, Toll's got the fucking chance now here.
I'm going to tell you this now. I'm going to cut you off, lads, right? Because I have been absolutely fucked this week, right? I'm not lying. Now listen, when I failed to get a guest on the last time, he's offered to give me a deferral and I said no, and I took my dunce, didn't I?
You did.
Right. I don't have a guest this week, but I'm asking for a deferral until next week, if possible.
What's wrong?
I've been no well all week, you fucking dafty.
Right, do you know something? I got one when I had Greg Wild, remember? He had a family emergency. Toll did get offered. He got offered a referral the fucking week. He didn't get one. He refused to accept it. He took his medicine, and he's asking for one this week. And I'm going to say no.
You should be ashamed of yourself. I don't know how you can sit there.
Oh, seriousness, mate. I was joking there. You can get a deferral till next week. Seriously, you can. Right.
That's good then. That's and you know what? I want to take this opportunity to apologise to the listeners. I know the Legends Lottery part of the show is a good laugh, and I've fucked it for us this week. I apologise, but I genuinely have been absolutely laid up all week. I've had other shit going on and all I don't want to fucking get into, but the boys know about it as well. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna take a deferral this time, but I graciously accept, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Just book your cousin, Cole. Just book your cousin. It worked for Grado, so just book your cousin.
Just don't let it fucking happen again, right?
Football Daft's big question.
Troops, remember last week? Well, Toll, I don't know if you heard the show right. It was last week we were talking about football chants and all that. John had a few
brilliant,
right? But there was one member, the Brecon City chant. We can't read, we can't write, but that don't really matter. We support Brecon and we drive a tractor. Right.
We wanted to know what tune it went to, minute.
We didn't know the tune, but thanks to Kevin Cameron, who got back in touch after last week when we were talking about the chants, and he hit us with this one, right? He's hit us with it. We didn't know what the tune was, but here he is to sing it. John.
All right, gents, Kevin here. I'm the guy who left the chant about Brecon City back in the 1990s. Producer John wanted to know how it went. Well, before I do that, I just have to say I nearly crashed the fucking car because I'm listening to your podcast on a weekly basis, but the one I was listening to there was obviously the Charlie Nicholas one, where you're sitting there thinking to yourself, and you're sitting there thinking to yourself, couldn't help but fucking piss myself. Absolutely brilliant. Spot on, guys. However, the football chant, right, it went like this. We can't read and we can't write, but that don't really matter. We support Brecon and we can drive a tractor. We can't read and we can't write, that don't really matter. We support Brecon and we can drive a tractor. All right, guys, get dafties.
You need to get that guy on. Man,
that was brilliant. Kevin Cameron, what a legend, man. That was great. I'm glad it's cleared up as well, but you know what I mean?
Because we were sitting there and we were just sitting there thinking to ourselves,
how did we get that tune?
How the fuck does this song go?
Brilliant.
But that was great, man. But this week, right, it's time to shine a light on one of the unsung heroes of Scottish football, the ball boys and girls, sitting in all the weather, running empty stands, pleading with the crowd to get the ball back. It's a tough job, isn't it, Troops? Ball boys, ball girls. He's ever done it? He's ever done it?
No, actually, do you know what? I get feared to do it when I was young because I can't remember what game it was.
Involved running.
No, I can't. Well, to be honest with you, it was because the wee guy was fat, man, and it was either, I can't remember, it was St Mirren or I can't remember at the time. Don't quote me on St Mirren, but they were shouting like fat bastard to the wee guy, man. And I remember at the time going, fuck being a boy, man. You get the piss taken out of you. I felt terrible for him.
It's brutal, man. I mean, I do feel sorry, especially like, not just stuff like that. Obviously, what the fuck was that?
Oh, sorry, I was just hanging my eye and brew cap. Sorry.
Well, that was like a fucking flying fucking frog or something.
Oh, no, mate. What?
Flying frog? That well-known species?
Yeah, but do you know what I was watching last night? Fucking the All or Nothing with Jose Mourinho. And
hey, I've not watched it yet. I'm going to watch it.
No, but it's fine. But you remember who was his first Champions League game? In fact, was it not his first ever game? Who did he play in the Champions League in the bait?
When he scored the goal against Man U?
No, it was that. No, it wasn't fucking Porto, man. It was.
Was he the Spurs manager at this point?
It was like his first European game. And the ball boy. It was the game was kind of like fucking, you know, throw in, but the ball boy chucked it to the player.
That's right.
Did it right away, and he scored the goal.
That's right, and they went and celebrated with the ball boy, eh?
Celebrated with the ball boy. After the game, he got to meet the team and he sat with the players and ate with the players, man. And that was a beautiful story, man.
Must be a buzz, like, as a ball boy getting that.
Right, Jose Mourinho tapping his seed and all that, telling him to come up for a feed, man. Brilliant.
Do you think that's that kind of ball boy society, man, where they've all got like wee Snapchats and all that, and they're watching that and going, I mean, I need to go to fucking Clyde next week. Look at that wee guy hanging about with Jose and that. That's just fucking shite, innit? There is like Snapchatting each other. Look at that lucky bastard.
Quite like a ball boys union.
But do you remember? I remember looking at ball boys when I was younger, and a lot of them had an offer swagger, didn't they? When they want them down fucking chilling.
Nothing wrong with that, mate. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, that's the way you want it, but
there's nothing wrong with swagger.
But it was kind of like the folk, man. And did you know you used to run out as well before? Or you used to run out the one time when you see the ball boys run out, you knew that was when the teams come out. Did they even still do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of my mates was a ball boy at Brockville, Fraser Bloy, and it was Falkirk versus Rangers, and Ali McCoy scudded a shot right off his dish. Just about not to, like paramedics. I mean, we're talking like St John's ambulance are out for him. Ali came, gave it the old pat in the head and all that. Oh, you're right, wee man, and all that sort of stuff. I think he was sparked out though.
Your mate. What's the fucking age restriction to get a ball boy at fucking?
It's not. He wasn't 30. He wasn't 39 grade though. To be fair.
Jenny was down watching Ali McCoist at the 5-a-sides or something like that, you fucker.
No, I just thought he was an old ball boy. You see
I remember.
Mate, that's hilarious. Think about it, imagine a mad old ball boy.
Okay. See, if there's anyone at a club listening out there, go and please get in touch and we'll get Grado as the ball boy at the next match.
I'd love that, man.
That'd be brilliant, man. Imagine you getting as the ball boy.
What are you talking about? There'll be about fuck time. Grado running to get the ball.
It's time to see what the listeners said now. We've got Stuart who said, I was a ball boy for Clyde when we played Dunfermline back when we first moved to Broadwood. I think I was 12 or 13 running out in front of players. It was quality.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Aidan sent us the fucking story of his life for the looks of this one.
This is memoirs by Aidan.
I was a ball boy at Montrose for a while. Set the scene. Standing behind leaning against the wall just as to the side of the goal, enjoying my complimentary half-time pie when one of the Montrose players, Stuart Ferguson I think it was hitting a few shots during the break. Cue him absolutely ballooning one wide, causing both ball and the molten lava-like grease to simultaneously hit my face. I got a pair of goalie gloves for the sub-keeper for my troubles, but my face is still never recovered.
That's
fucking hell. Aidan,
for all the listeners out there, that audiobook was read by Chris Toll. That's a bit of a story, but
man. That's good. Right. Kevin says, I was a ball boy for Hamilton Accies who played Partick Thistle at the Partick Thistles ground, is that right?
Yeah, he did. Hamilton shared for him.
There you go. Pie and Mars bar at half time. Class.
Grado's definitely going to be a ball boy as well. Free pie and a Mars bar at half time.
Class, man.
Tommy said I was a ball boy for Hibs v Everton at Easter Road in 2002. Wayne Rooney scored a double that day. Best player to ever grace the pitch at Easter Road, apart from Larson and Laudrup.
Hey. That clearly says Larson and Sinclair. Hey, Marty, I've got another fucking book to read here, Jesus Christ. Marty says, I was a ball boy at Albion Rovers in the late 80s at home via Alloa. I was on my own behind the goals when Alloa scored, but the net was never pinned down right, so the ball came out of the net. The ref asked me if it was in. I was getting a death stare off of Rab McCulloch, the Rovers keeper at that moment. I did what all good 10-year-old boys would do in that situation. Shot it and told the truth. I says it was a goal. Talk about pressure. I think we lost 3-0 and I still blame myself.
That's fucking brilliant, the ref. Was that in? Brilliant, isn't it?
I remember that.
Colin says he was a ball boy at Alava and Inverness Cali Thistle.
Alava?
Alava? That is when Cali Thistle won Europe, Stevie.
He says he was at Alloa and Cali Thistle. The Cali Thistle fans started punching lumps out of him. What? Hold on. Right. There was a. Is this? Does he mean this? There was a. Right. Was a ball boy at Alloa, and Inverness Cali Thistle fans started punching lumps out of him after he went to get the ball off one of them and got a few digs instead. The 50 pence and half a pie made it all worth. Right. So he's trying to tell us he got a fucking doing after.
No, what he's saying is there was a ball boy at Alloa and Cali Thistle. And the boy went into the Thistle fans to get the ball and they knocked fuck at him. I don't know how the fuck that's never made the air. I've never heard that story before. Fuck's sake.
I don't think a fucking 50 pence and half a pie would make it worth it after getting your cunt kicked in as a wee boy, man. That's terrible.
You've actually just went and get 10 bob and a pie after getting your James Blunt absolutely rattled after a bunch of Cali Thistle casuals, man.
That'll do. Here, take this and keep your mouth shut.
John Robertson like that. Here's a Twix. Fuck up.
The armchair pundit says, I mind when Eden Hazard kicked a ball boy.
Yeah, I remember that. Ross got in touch to say Cammy Bell just about ended up in a square goal with a ball boy after he was being a wee fanny and wasting time at Clyde versus Falkirk last season. We spoke about this, didn't we?
Yeah, I was at that game. What a wee dick that Clyde boy.
Well, actually, it tells the story. What happened again?
John, that's a wee boy you're talking about.
Oh, he was being a wee wido, man. He's been a wee wido. Kept holding on to the ball, time wasting. Cammy Bell tried to get the ball back off him. He was holding. Oh, he was a wee dick.
So what did Cammy Bell actually do?
He grabbed the ball back off him and he knocked him on his arse, I think.
Really? Was it just like kind of a scuffle?
It wasn't much a scuffle, but obviously.
So Cammy Bell got it down then, aye?
No.
So Martin, I was a ball boy for Kennedy's testimonial for Clydebank v Rangers. Gaza told me he'd buy me a pie. Still waiting for it to this day.
I see. Paul McStay told me he'd buy me sweeties and I fucking got them. That just shows you McStay better than Gascoigne ever was.
Yeah, oh, cool. Okay, Tom. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not biting. Best foot.
Credo was nearly half a top deal there.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Been involved in a road traffic accident? Call them now on 01698 767 172.
It's now time to give away not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 crates of beer 52 as we once again play the playoff.
Did they need to pay the postage? Have we hung with that yet? No,
it's all right. I've checked with that, Craig. We've only got to cover $4.95 for the postage and packaging for all 4, so it's all good. In front of me, I have 91-92 ProSet cards, which were sent in by one of our listeners. And basically, I read the description of each player from the back of the card, and it's up to you guys to guess who it is, and the first person to buzz in gets the point. We play to 2, and every week we like to take on a listener, and this week is no exception. It is Craig from Aberdeen. How you doing, Craig?
How you doing, man?
It's not Aberdeen, but is it no rural Aberdeenshire or something like that?
It's Old Meldrum, just outside Aberdeen.
Aye, Old Meldrum. That's
John,
good.
come on, man.
Give a bit of respect, man.
I'll get it. And Craig, you're a Rangers supporter up that way. How difficult is that for you?
Burying this guy.
It's eventful. Basically, you get 8 Old Firm games a season. If Aberdeen ever make the top 6.
Do you ever watch? Have you played this at home? Have you played along at home?
Yeah, it's my Friday night unwinder, just listening to you chappies and having a few drams.
Oh, get in there. That's
brilliant.
This guy's pure take a high road. I love this guy.
Yeah, not bad, because I was born in Govan.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, 30 years up here, though.
So, rules dead simple.
What about that Asda with McDonald's in it? That's all right, innit? You know what I'm talking about? The McDonald's inside Asda.
Oh, a culinary delight.
Innit? It's great, but you can get your messages and then come out with McFlurry and all that. I love it.
Well, McNuggets, my man.
Radio's going to be doing the Visit Aberdeen adverts very soon. You go to Aberdeen, you know what? You can get a McDonald's in the Asda. That's brilliant.
The culinary review by Grado.
Absolutely. So rules are simple, Craig. Got the ProSet playoff cards, as I say. I'm going to read the description of the player from the card. You're going to play one of the boys. You buzz in if you know the answer, but if you do buzz in, you can't come back in again, okay?
Right.
If none of you get the answer, I flip the card and we try and guess which player it is. Is there anybody you would like to play, Craig?
I don't know. Toll's probably the best at it.
He's not, because he's
I'm the only one. I've not won. The rest of them have got 100% record.
Me and Grado have got 100% records. Toll hasn't won one yet, mate.
Absolutely. Right, so here we go, Craig. Go to the draw and let's see who you've got. It is Grado!
Yay!
No idea.
I hate it. I get too nervous. I don't like it.
Craig, what's your buzzer going to be?
Jack.
Jack.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
After the man whose thunderbolt chased Brendan Rodgers out of Scottish football and my favourite bourbon.
Well, actually, Jack's a sour mash whiskey, Craig, not a bourbon. If you want to be a fucking smart arse, alright?
Right. Grado, what's your buzzer today?
Hashtag nibble.
No, I've dived in.
What's your buzzer?
Victor.
Victor, why Victor?
Victor.
Jack.
All right. I see. Right, very good. Here we go. He's ready. This player is a regular fixture in the number 5 shirt for Aberdeen since breaking into the first team as a teenager. Only Kenny Dalglish has won more caps for Scotland.
Alex McLeish.
1-0, Alex McLeish. Well done, sir.
I thought you said number 9.
Right, no, it wasn't. It was number 5 grade. Here we go. Next player, you might struggle with this one. This player made his first appearance in league football for Falkirk during the 82-83 season. He played for 5 seasons before a transfer to Liverpool in 1987. He made this 2 appearances for the Anfield Club, then returned to Scottish football with Dundee United, staying for just 1 year before a further 3-season spell south of the border with Shrewsbury. He is now in his 2nd season with St Mirren. Defender from Bells Hill.
Victor!
Grado.
It's no Gus McPherson, is it?
It's not Gus McPherson, no. Craig, I'll hand this over to you. I'll turn the card over. Do you know who that is?
No.
It's Alan Irvine. Still 1-0, Craig. On to the next player. This player made his league debut for Hearts while still a teenager in 1987 and established himself as a regular choice in season 89-90, the season in which his lifelong Hearts supporter won the Scottish PFA Young Player of the Year award. He has won Scottish under-21 honours. Yeah, Craig.
Scott Crabbe.
Scott Crabbe. 4 crates of beer heading your way, my friend.
What a shout that is.
What a shout. That is impressive.
Craig, man.
Cheers.
Well,
Okay, this guy's good, man. This guy's good.
Capped off, Craig.
Do you know what? I really want him to come on again to actually.
Aye.
I do believe he's good at this. So
you know what I was going to say is the next time Paul goes in a huff and Celtic get beat, I think we should get Craig on as a third person on the show.
Wait a minute.
Well, that'll only be in 2 weeks' time, surely.
What about this one? We bring Craig on next week to play against another guest.
that's a good shout. There should be a wee tournament. That is not a bad shout, to be honest with you.
We could try and do a simpler version of the Nations League / World Cup and have like groups. Go on, make it happen.
I'll make it happen. Thanks for playing, Craig.
Hey, Craig, what are you going to do with the crates of beer?
Drink it. I'm 40 on Wednesday.
40 on Wednesday, mate. Happy birthday.
Cheers, my man.
All the best, Craig. Thank you very much.
Thanks for
Do you know what,
Cheers,
Craig? You've been so good on this show today. Don't bother putting your hands in the pocket because I'm going to cover that $4.95. Go on, I'll send you the details after I've got it, alright?
Right, excellent. Well done, gentlemen. Fantastic. Well done, Craig. And remember, if you want free beer, all you have to do is head to beer52.com/daft. We can sort of create Beer 52 right for you right now. It's a monthly subscription service, so you don't know what Beer 52 is. They get beer from right across the world. Some brilliant small batch breweries, stuff you've never heard of, some very nice fruity stuff. All sorts of beer in there, whatever you want, whatever your preference is in beer. You can get it for just $4.95, cover the postage and packaging. So head to beer52.com/daft and you can get your first case of beers on us.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Find them on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram at G4 Claims Limited.
Let's welcome a man who's well travelled across Scottish football. As a striker, he has played for the likes of Raith Rovers, Dundee, Motherwell, St Mirren, St Johnstone and Hearts, and he now currently plies his trade at Morton, where he also manages the reserve side. It is John Sutton. How you doing, mate?
Hi, hello there, good to be here.
Thanks for coming on, mate.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem at all.
Right, so have you got your brother on FaceTime as well, mate? Aye, is he there as well? We can slag him before we get to you, mate.
Oh, sorry, are you talking to me there? Hey, no, feel free to slag my brother at any opportunity.
No, mate, I'm kidding on.
I'm sure you're not the only one.
Listen, I'll tell you something, there won't be a bad fucking word said about Chris Sutton on this show.
Listen,
Alright.
I think he's
that sure. I couldn't have imagined you'd have thought that.
Paul, I think he's top entertainment. I think he's like the Katie Hopkins fucking.
That's what he is, that's what I always say. He's like Katie Hopkins.
man. But you started at Spurs, is that right, John?
Yeah, that's right, a long time ago now.
Aye, so what's your memories of starting then at Spurs, starting as a football player then? What happened there?
It's a bit of a culture shock coming from sort of rural Norfolk to pretty much where they film The Only Way is Essex.
Love that programme. Fucking love it.
So it was good. It was incredibly hard to try and break into the first team, but the things that you learn, the level of coaching and the players you got to train with, certainly as you got older, you know, that stood us in good stead for the future.
But who was the kind of players that were showing you the ropes there? Who was the first time players at that point? Who was that?
Well, that was the tricky bit for us, really, because we had a really good youth team. But then the first team was Teddy Sheringham, Les Ferdinand, someone called Sergei Rebrov, who used to play up front with Shevchenko for.
Sergei Rebrov.
Never heard of him. Never heard of Sergei Rebrov.
I was trying to make it look like I was unlucky. Just say something. Really, really good quality player. So it was very. Robbie Keane was another one, who was, I think it speaks for itself. It's incredibly hard to jump above them in the pecking order.
Were you there with Jamie Redknapp?
Yeah, was I? He's a good-looking guy, eh?
He's alright,
mate. Legitimately, that's Grado fancies big Pierre Van Hooijdonk, right? And we get asked if you had a footballer that you would consider, who would it be? And I said Jamie Redknapp. There you go. So there we go. What a fucking.
I must admit, I like Big Pierre, right? But see, at the same time, I loved Les Ferdinand, man. He's a boy.
Yeah.
I love Les Ferdinand. Did he ever take you aside and give you any tips or anything like that?
Is this as a player or as a potential partner? Or as a...
No, mate, he's a player.
There'll be no coming back for that one.
Oh man, come on.
A couple of things here and there. The first team were brilliant. It's such a huge squad of players at Tottenham, but Les would talk to you. They would talk to you. There's no doubt about that. Tim Sherwood was another really good one. Sol Campbell was there when I was initially there, and they were good guys. I mean, footballers get a bad name, but you see, if they saw you walking back from training one day, they'd give you a lift back to your digs and whatever. They were good guys, and they would take you aside and give you a few tips here and there. So, they were terrific like that.
So, how did you end up coming up to Scotland then, John? How did that come about?
Well, when I left Tottenham, see, this is ages ago. You'll all have forgotten about this. There was a company called ITV Digital who had all the sort of rights to the League One and League Two teams.
On Digital, was that on Digital and all that? Was that the same thing? Remember on Digital? Was that on Digital? Remember them?
It might have been. It was a hell of a long time ago. But basically, all the clubs in the lower leagues were a lot of them went into administration. Generally, what would happen was, if you're from Tottenham reserves, you would generally go and not necessarily play, but end up a League One or League Two club for a season or 6 months and get a shot at it there. But the clubs were absolutely no money. So my brother was up in Scotland. He spoke to someone called Tosh McKinley. Tosh sort of helped us out a bit, and I got an opportunity to come up to Raith Rovers, which was fantastic.
Tosh McKinley, what a left peg he had, man. At all.
He put a few balls on. I remember him telling us how he used to put the ball on Big Van Hooijdonk's head.
That's right. He delivered the ball for the Scottish Cup final winner.
Aye, that's the one. I remember seeing that on the video.
When you came up to Scotland, John, you arrived in Kirkcaldy, you smashed it, you get 16 goals, 24 games. Did you think when you came up here, and off the back of that drink, it was just easy up here?
No, nothing's ever easy. We struggled a little bit as a team, but I played with some good players there. The manager was really good with us, Antonio Calderon, who was Spanish. Training was great, and it's a huge step. Same with the boys that I was coaching last year, to go from youth team, reserve team, but then you're playing real football. So it was really, really good, and it was a really good league as well. Falkirk were really strong at the time. Inverness played against some really tough opposition, so it was a big step for me and a big learning curve. But it done great for me.
See, this time, are you kind of like getting advice off your big brother at this part of your career? Like, what did I do here, man? I'm at Raith. I've got the choice to go here. What did I do, Big? And what's the deal? Do you take a lot of advice off your brother?
Yeah, well, I was actually living with him at the time.
Was you?
Glasgow and travelling through with Darren Brady. So I spoke to Chris quite a lot. He helped out. But I mean, at the end of the day, people can't live your life for you. It's got to be your decision. But he's pretty much the same mind as myself. First team football's the most important thing.
Right. What was it like at Millwall with Dennis Wise there? What was he like?
They were good with us. They were sort of going for promotion, so I never really played as much as I wanted. I played a couple of games. I played a little bit of the FA Cup final run. We got to the FA Cup final. I was the one left out on the day, unfortunately. I thought I had a good chance of sort of playing against Man United, but no, they were good with us. I think the trouble being that they signed someone called Daniel Dicchio, who was very tall, great player and a track record. And they're obviously going for promotion. They wanted someone a bit more experienced, who's been tested, who they can trust a bit more. But no, Dennis was pretty good with us down there. And Ray Wilkins as well was down there. He was terrific with us, Ray Wilkins.
Oh, was it? That's brilliant, man.
Oh. Any stories about Dennis Wise, like losing his shit a wee bit? Like, if he's not as a manager?
No, not losing it too much, but he... what did someone tell us? And I don't know whether this is an urban myth or not. He used to sort of nip people in the back of the neck, or nip them or blow on the back of the neck, because he sort of nipped them, and then as he nipped them, they would like elbow him off to try and get him away. And then as they elbowed him off, he used to go down holding his face. But whether that's an urban myth, I mean, I could be done for perjury here.
I'm going to try that.
That's what they used to say.
He's one of the guys that you would just never tire of slapping, but Dennis Wise, isn't he?
He's like I say, he was always good with me.
I'm not trying to bury it, like get you buried here or that, but he's the sort of player that you hated playing against. You hated that, like if he played in a team against your team. You know what I mean? Like an actual Novo or a Scott Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. He was incredibly fit as well. He was quite old, obviously, at the time. He was manager there, but his fitness levels were really good. He'd be, I like you say, a bit like Scott Brown and Nacho Novo in about you, annoying people the whole time. But they're the people a lot of the time you want on your team rather than playing against you.
So I take it. See when you went to Dundee, did you replace like Nacho Novo? Because was that around about the time he left for Rangers?
Pretty much. I mean, they done well, didn't they, Dundee? They got rid of Novo and Ravanelli and got me in. Because Dundee obviously went into administration, so that's how I ended up there.
Mm. And what was your stint like there? How did you find that? How was the Dundee derbies for you?
Dundee derbies were kind to us. We had a great record. Scored winner in 2 of them. One was a good goal, second game of the season, and another one was an absolute shite, headed it and a dribble through the goalie's legs. They all
count, mate. They all count.
Dundee derbies were brilliant, though. I mean, sort of that'd been my first time in the Premier League, so the first thing I sort of looked at and the fixture list was Celtic, 60,000 fans, Rangers, 50,000 fans, or whatever the attendances are. Well, I think the games I enjoyed most, obviously the Dundee derby, but you get there, it's a packed house, you realise, it's such a big game, really, really good occasions to play in. And I think the difference is with the Dundee derbies is Rangers and Celtic, you're not really expected to win, Whereas the Dundee derbies are pretty much 50-50. And I think the atmosphere is sort of a bit edgy because of that. Absolutely fantastic games to play in.
Right. You made me laugh there when you said you scored a shiter, right? I love it when I hear folk like kind of use words like that you've probably learned up here. Is there any other words that you speak like in your everyday language that you learned up here?
Aye, well, I mean the obvious one, jobby.
Right.
Probably, aye.
Well, because it's like my mate Shah, he's adopted saying the word messages because that never gets used in there. Can you go for your messages?
I know what it is.
You know what messages are then, aye?
I go for your shopping, going around the...
That's it, man. There we go.
Right. That's
your milk and your bread and your square sausage.
Yeah, there we go.
There
Aye, guy. After Dundee, you went to St Mirren and you've been quoted as saying that they saved your career. What's the reason for that? Had you chucked it basically? Were you fed up with football? Or?
No, I don't know about saving my career, but we got relegated with Dundee, which we shouldn't have done for a number of reasons. The first one being we had the squad of players we had was more than capable of staying up. And the second one was that Livingston signed players that they shouldn't have signed, and they're the team that sent us down. But no, I went back down to Millwall. I was never going to get a look in there. The manager changed, Steve Claridge. I mean, that is a bit of trivia for you. I don't know how many managers have taken over pre-season and been sacked for your first game of the season, but that's what happened to Steve Claridge. But by that time, you know, I was down in the pecking order with things. So I needed somewhere to go. Went to St Mirren, and St Mirren was just absolutely brilliant for us. I don't know about saving a career, but it certainly lit a fire under us, and it was brilliant. We had quite a young squad of players. We weren't really fancied, but we had it's a bit like Celtic to an extent. They buy younger players, and people always say, "Oh, I never heard of him." And then a few years' time, they go, "Oh, that Van Dijk was a good player," even though you never heard of him when he comes. Right. I'm not saying that we all went on to have careers like that, but you had St Johnstone's, you had other teams that were spending more money than us, but we had a really motivated group of players. Simon Lappin went on to play in the Premier League for Norwich. Big Cut Broadfoot obviously went on to play for Rangers. He's back at Killy now, and he's had a really good career back down south. Charlie Adam was on loan for the season. Never really played first team football so much before. So we had a really hungry group of players. We had a great coaching team. Gus McPherson used to give you a right bollocking, and then Andy Millen was absolutely terrific with all the boys. Mark O'Reilly. So it was just a really, really good club to be at that time.
Hey, some amount of signing on fees you must have put in your career, man. You played for everybody a bug. You look the English Tim Hamilton.
I know. The trouble is, I've normally amended the contract. What you really want to do is be absolutely have a shite, and then you get paid up.
You know the score.
Normally that's through my choice. That's the trouble.
Look at all these clubs you've played for, John. Where would you say you felt you're most comfortable?
2/3 places. St Mirren, definitely first spell, second spell as well. It's a great club. I had some really good seasons there. We got promoted twice. We stayed up on the last day of the season twice in different leagues. That was absolutely brilliant. Motherwell would be the other one. Motherwell, we played in Europe every year. We got to cup finals. We never got the cherry on the top and won the Scottish Cup, which was unfortunate. But we finished second. It was just always an adventure with Motherwell. Motherwell was absolutely terrific, and I'm sure when you speak to lads and all the rest of it, it was just a great group of people. The players were great. It was great because every time we came out pre-season, we'd always sold a few people, and they always said, "You get relegated this year." I mean, apart from nearly in the last season, we never got relegated. We're normally top 6, finishing second, something like that. And the people who work at Motherwell as well have all been there for such a long time. So that was a great place as well. But I've mentioned Hearts as well because Hearts is obviously it's a huge club, and the people again working there, and the Hearts fans were really, really terrific to us. Although I wish things had gone a bit better there for us.
But have you got any crazy Romanov stories for Hearts?
he used to come in with his interpreter.
Right.
But it was always a bit of a mystery because he used to come in with his interpreter, but he used to get him reading the Sun or the Daily Record. So his understanding of English couldn't have been too bad. He sort of just flicking through the pages. And then we'd sit down and have the meeting. So Romanov's jabbering away in Lithuanian, and his interpreter's there saying, you boys are trying very hard, blah, blah, blah. I keep up the effort, you're doing excellent. All right, thank you. And I'll be back again soon to see you. Just keep working hard, we're all behind you. And the Lithuanian boys during this time, like we're all sitting up straight and looking at it, and the Lithuanian boys were pissing themselves with laughter. So then, like, as soon as you go out of the room, you say, what was he saying there? He's saying, you're all a pile of shite, you're fucking hopeless. I wish I'd never signed you, wasting your money.
Fucking brilliant.
Slaughtered like sheep or something like that, man.
That's brilliant, man.
John, we mentioned your time at Motherwell there. Now you played in one of the craziest games in Scottish football history. You scored a couple of goals in it. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, 6 each with Hibs at Fir Park. Talk us through it, mate.
We had a right good team. Always had pretty much a right good team at Motherwell. But Craig Brown was obviously the manager. We've been on a right good run of things, and I think it was quite an important game. I think if we beat Hibs, we'd have jumped above them with a game left to guarantee qualification to Europe. Obviously, what do we go? The other strange thing about it, we probably had, and I've played with some really good goalies. Chris Smith, Mirren, who was really unlucky with injuries, Big Darren Randall. We had the best goalie in the league, in my opinion, at that time, John Ruddy. Mm-hmm. Our defensive record was unbelievable. But after 20 minutes, we ended up about 4-1 down, if I remember correctly. It was just a crazy game. I mean, if you look at the highlights, some of the goals that went in it was like comical.
Aye, but then what about big Kevin Rutkovich's volley at the end? That was Van Basten style stuff, man.
Well, I hope you know that I got the assist for that. About 70 yards up the pitch. He couldn't really miss from there, could he?
You put it on a plate for him, mate. You put it on a plate for him.
Exactly, man. You can only do so much for people. But great seeing all the. I mean, I think on the pitch we were all thinking, "Oh, Jesus Christ, we've got Archie Knox in the dressing room after this," you know. And just some of the things went on in the game. I mean, at 6-5, we managed. I'm going to say miss a penalty. We got a penalty, and the keeper, Ross Forbes, had his penalty saved, a great penalty as well. I mean, it was just mental, and obviously TV cameras have got the fans going out of the ground and then coming back in the ground. But it was brilliant to be involved in it. And to be fair to Motherwell, we had quite a lot of games like that over the years. There was always lots of goals, and I don't know what it is about Motherwell, but there always seems to be mental games with them, probably more than other teams. I might be biased. I'm thinking about the St Mirren Motherwell game last year in the Scottish Cup, which was, I can't remember. They got knocked down then. Was it 5-4 or something when they're 4-1 down?
Aye.
Thinking about Motherwell, like one of the mental games I remember is obviously the playoff against Rangers at Fir Park. Did you fancy your chances having a square goal with Big Moshney that day as well, mate?
No, I mean, I don't know. I couldn't believe what Leo Owen was doing. I sort of, it's one of them, you know, like when you're pretending to run really fast over there, but you're actually going really slowly. That was me.
That's brilliant. Superb. Yeah, John, you were talking about, I totally forgot that Archie Knox was assistant manager at Motherwell. Right, so me and Bob, obviously, as Rangers fans, we love hearing stories about Archie Knox. What was he like? Was he still have the passion for it even then, kind of thing?
He had the passion for giving you a bollocking about 6 inches for your face, that's for sure at times.
Brilliant.
I know, Archie was great. I mean, the only trouble he had with his, a couple of troubles with his bollockings. I mean, the teapot could get chucked about a bit, so he had to watch where that was going launch. But, I mean, you would have thought with his experience at times, he used to make the mistake sometimes of booting the metal skips. But the trouble with moving the metal skips is you used to hurt your own foot. So that was obviously a bit of an issue as well.
Brilliant.
As Marco Negri said, when he came up to, when Marco Negri came to the Rangers, he said when he was on the pitch, all he could hear was Archie Knox, and the only words he could hear was stupid, fucking, in Italian.
That's about right. Archie was great though, and Craig Brown was brilliant as well. He was a brilliant, great man manager, and again, a fantastic human being. You wanted to go and play for him, and it's a long time ago now. It doesn't seem a long time ago for me, but it doesn't surprise me. He was the last Scottish manager to get him to the finals. The way he made everyone feel, and not just the players, but everyone about the club. I think everyone would say how highly he was regarded like that.
What about Stuart McCall as well? How was he a manager for you?
I'm going to be biased because some of my best football came under Stuart McCall, but he was absolutely brilliant. I think all the boys again loved him. He was a really good human being, and I think he kept everyone involved so well. Boys on the fringes, boys who were playing. His assistant was great as well, Kenny Black, apart from the warm-ups, which used to be an absolute doing. But through my time at Motherwell, generally it's been a really, really good atmosphere at the club. Stuart McCall was brilliant, had great banter. He could lose it now and again as well. But absolutely brilliant. The only gripe I had with him was, he awarded me the Albert Steptoe Award one year for being the worst dressed at the club. Which I thought was harsh. I thought it was harsh because he used to come in every day stuck in the 1980s, obviously with his mullet, his Stonewashed jeans and his Reebok Classics. Taking it too far.
Hey, John, do you ever feel bad that he might still be the Rangers manager if you hadn't have scalped him that time?
It was strange games, those ones. We did scalp him, but I wasn't...
Twice.
Thanks for coming on, John. Cheers. Thank you.
Nice boxer, Stevie.
Do you know what? I did feel for him because he was brilliant for us at Motherwell. Absolutely brilliant. And it was just unfortunate it was those two teams. Any other time, I'd have been absolutely rooting for him to do well. And I know it was a sort of dream job. It was just, it's so hard for him to say, he took over. With a few months left, there's only so much he can do with a few months left. And not as much as I think he did get a turnaround from the players, but they're not his players. There's only so much he could have done with them. They beat Hibs, and the games we played in, we played well, but it's just scoring the goals at the right times. And there was a couple of goals in there which were...
Aye, Cammy Bell helped you along the way as well, mate.
Is that you that scored that? Did you score that goal against Cammy Bell?
No, I scuffed a penalty in at the end right enough. I scored in the tie, but there's a couple of goals that like you say, maybe that Cammy could have done. Would normally
mate, over the two legs. I was at the game at Ibrox, man. Over the two legs, he's by far the better team. Far the better team.
I think we done very well on the counter attack. I think Lionel scored a great goal. Lee Owen played really well for those two games. We probably deserved it, but it was a shame for Stuart because he is a good manager. And I know how much Rangers means to him, so a shame for him at the same time.
So, John, you've now made Scotland your home, right? So you're in Scotland now and you've set up your own PT business. How's that going, mate? And can you do anything for Grado?
Of course we can do something for Grado, man. If we got Grado into good nick, what an advert that would be. You'd have Hollywood flying in, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I've always said that. If MD can get me fucking hangway, you know what? You can train me for free. You don't need to pay me. That's fine because get me into some nick, man, and I'll tell you, your business will go through the fucking roof.
Aye, but John, a while ago we had David McCracken on the show, and he used to help Grado out with stuff like PTs and stuff. Then we got him on the show, and Grado nearly got it.
That's a terrible advert for David McCracken at this stage, isn't it?
Hey, he actually, mate, he got me in no bad nick for a couple of months in 2015. I've never been back to the gym, but
it was 2015, and then the next time you seen him was doing the podcast in 2019.
And by the way, Cracks' reaction when he seen him, Jesus fucking Christ.
Aye, but I'll leave my number with John if you want to get in touch. If you want to take me on, mate. I've got a graft, but you'll get there.
You said you got a graft?
What? Yes, I'm saying it'll be a graft to get me into a good nick, but I believe in you.
I thought you said you had a graft for your weight or something.
So how is business going, mate, John? Is it going okay?
It's going okay. I got all's going over at the moment. It's been really, really good. You got sort of some fairly serious athletes. I had
Motherwell fans.
and to people, I just looking to get fit and doing a bit of individual coaching as well. So I have a bit of a mixture. But anyone who wants to have a go, I'm on Twitter now. That's a new thing for me. On Instagram, I'm still trying to find my feet with that, but I get in touch.
Does your brother retweet you?
What's that?
Does your brother? No.
No, because I mean, I don't want a torrent of abuse about how I want to. You see, I don't want people to know I'm related to him. I know the surname's a giveaway, but
you're the fucking double each other as well.
No, I don't know. John's handsome.
You can't deny him. You can't deny your brother, for fuck's sake. Come on now.
Here, but do you ever bell him and go, "Come on, man, you are fishing the night on that Twitter," or do you have a laugh about it?
I actually think he's pretty good. I mean,
I do as well. As a Rangers fan, I do.
I mean, the thing is about Bunsbury, you want people to have an opinion of you, whether you like him or you don't like him, because it'll actually make you want to watch. And
mate, he gets people talking about him, man. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
A great man once said, "Controversy creates cash."
Cash, you're right.
Well, that's true. And I mean, there is no doubt he talks an utter pile of shite a lot of the time. But, I mean, what I would say is an entertaining pile of shite.
That is, mate.
So, are you going to play another season for Morton, John?
No, I won't be playing this season. No, I went there initially as reserve team manager. It looks like I'll probably leave the club now. Second season, so the manager and the club really wanted us to play, but I was a reserve team manager still. But football, I mean, I've done my best last year. We've done okay in some games, scored a few goals here and there. But my football finished at St Mirren when we got promoted. You know, I didn't play a huge part of that season, but I felt that was a good note to end on.
Aye, that was good. They scored a couple of goals here and there. That was good, mate.
A couple of goals here.
I'm kidding on. Where are you going to end up then, John? Have you got any plans? Co-winning Rangers? Would you fancy that?
No, I see the weekends. I'll tell you, my kids' football. I know people who play for Kilwinning though. I saw with the reserve teams. We used to play a lot of junior teams. The person who took the team was a big Auchinleck person.
Oh, fucker! Right, who was that?
Derek Anderson.
Derek who?
Anderson.
Derek Anderson. I used to play with Kelly as well, didn't he? That's right. Aye, that's right. So what is so? Have you retired? I just want to know. I
retired from playing. I mean, you never say never completely, but I'm retired from playing.
Right. So John, so every week on Football Daft, we want to put our guest football knowledge to the test with a 90-second quiz. Are you up for it?
Aye, go for it.
Aye. So we've got in the leaderboard, we've got Mark Wilson and the tightest man in Scottish football, as you say, is Keith Lasley, joint top of the league, mate.
Aye.
Right, and we've got 14 with a good doctor, Kenny Duker and Kevin Harper just behind in second place with 13. And we've got Barry Ferguson and Owen Coyle joint third on 12. Other selected scores include David Templeton on 11, Charlie Adam on 10, Bob Malcolm on 6, and Falkirk manager David McCracken is still at the bottom with 1 point. Anybody you want to beat there?
Hopefully get above David McCracken, man.
We'll beat a bash. So, you're 90 seconds on the clock. You can't pass. You must give an answer, and your time starts now. What was the name of St Johnstone's ground before moving to McDermott Park?
Was it Muton Park?
Who scored Celtic's only goal against Ferencvaros?
Ryan Christie.
The Lions are the nickname of what Scottish team?
Livingston.
Who did you come on to play against as a sub in the 2004 FA Cup quarter-final?
Tranmere.
Which championship club have just had investors from Germany?
Dunfermline.
Manchester United signed Van de Beek from which club?
Ajax.
Who does Scotland play this Friday?
trail.
Which Motherwell player signed for Celtic last week?
David Turnbull.
Who did you make your debut against for Central Coast Mariners?
I can't remember. Wellington.
Who scored more career goals, you or your brother Chris?
Chris.
The Wee Rovers is a nickname of which club?
Albion Rovers.
Who is the current manager of Dunfermline?
Stevie Crawford.
What English club is James Rodriguez heading to?
Everton.
How many goals did you score for Carlisle when you were on loan there?
1.
When were Motherwell founded?
1888.
Which Scottish football stadium has the biggest capacity?
Celtic Park.
Potential Rangers opponents progress near the con playing which country? Oh my God!
Oh
my God, man!
You get to answer the last question because we asked it though, John.
All right. So what was the last question?
Where are progress from?
Aye.
I don't know. I said Luxembourg, but I don't think it is.
Right. We'll take that answer.
Well, did that make a difference? Let's go through the wrong answers. I'm struggling to give you a wrong answer.
There's only one.
The only one you got wrong was Motherwell were founded in 1886, which means John Sutton, you go above Keith Lasley. You're top of the leaderboard with 16, mate.
Yes, man!
Brilliant.
Brilliant, mate.
It's a buzz when we get a new leader in it.
Aye.
This man, I'm sure liked it. Up here thinking about this all night now. How do you feel?
That's an honour, man. Aye, brilliant. I'd like to thank my mum, my dad.
John, your trophy will be in the post, mate. Right, we'll just get that sent over to you.
Brilliant, that's great.
And obviously, you'll be celebrating on the beers tonight, so there'll be no PTs tomorrow, mate. Know what I mean?
You better put that in your bio. Ex-football player, PT, and current football daft fucking quiz champion, man.
I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna get that out there.
Don, thanks for giving up your time and coming on. We really appreciate it, mate.
I know it's been a pleasure.
Brilliant, John. Cheers. Thanks very much. That was a great interview. Thank you, pal.
Cheers, John.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Been involved in a road traffic accident? Get them now at notitfaultclaims.com.
Guys, so what? It was good getting the band back together, wasn't it? Having Toll back,
It was. I missed this last week, lads, I'll be honest with you.
I mean, don't get me wrong, we were sitting last week after the Marco Negri interview going, that was fucking great, wasn't it? Weren't we? Well, doing that. But it's good to have you back, man. No,
right, I know where it went. Think it was better without Tom. Think it was better without Tom.
That's what we were saying when we were going, this is better, this is better.
That's what me and Stevie said when you were off, and that's what me and you said when Stevie was off.
And that's what us three said with producer, what's his name, and John.
Right.
We did say that, not
I did, mate.
John Sutton was great, man. I might take his offer for him to train me. I'd love that. But it's good. He's had a good career, man. He's had a lot of clubs. He's done well for himself. And anything else want to pass comment?
Aye, what about you scoring the fucking quiz?
Oh,
wow, man.
You know what? It was like Grado said earlier. It was like somebody had sent him the bloody quiz questions.
Mm-hmm.
The guy was answering the questions. It was unbelievable.
Maybe that was part of the deal to get him on the show.
Aye, and he's just missed out the Motherwell one to keep it quite realistic, man.
Aye, that's funny. But mate,
you used to do that, get questions wrong when you were copying somebody. You do it deliberately. Brilliant, man.
That's funny.
So anyway, John Sutton, great guest, top of the leaderboard. Toll, absolute failure in the Legends Lottery, but we're giving you a second chance. You're due a second chance. And that's it. I mean, it was a good show with Jim Grado. As good as last week, mate. Jim was as good as last week.
It wasn't as good as last week, but it was up there. I think the only thing that could save this episode or possibly make it even better than a Marco Negri episode is, what was the deal about you, Toll, with Big Brother that time?
Oh, aye.
Remember, can I mention something about it? Start with what?
Aye. Can we talk about that?
Actually, when coming in for school, lads, I'm going to need a boost.
Right, that's something to look forward to next week, Toll. I'm choking to hear this. But until then, everybody that's listening, tell everybody about the Football Daft podcast. Like us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, YouTube, the full lot, download us on Spotify. You probably are already if you're listening. Remember to sign up to the Patreon. The Patreon's up there for added bonus content. Until then, we are going to sing you with the best football chant there is. Come out of Scottish football, the Brecon City chant from the 90s. Okay, 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3. We can read, we can write, and that don't really matter. We support, we can read, we can write, and that don't really matter. We support, we can write, honk honk.
Audio Frontier.